Painting wet on wet. So I've just mixed up a nice dark. It's a mid-tone, or a little bit darker than mid-tone even, and it's mainly black. And then I've just got a couple little touches of the browns in there and a little touch of the blue as well. Now on my screen, on the reference on there, the gorilla's a little bit browner than the one on the reference photo to the side, and that's where I'm probably going to go towards, but you know, either way will look quite realistic. So you can see, just the beauty with oils is that we can blend as we're going along, and subjects like the gorilla, it's just ideal for them, because we can get a nice dark in there and then come back on top, lightening it up and creating those easy blends, wet into wet. And of course, the beauty of the alkyd oils over standard traditional oils is that it dries pretty much by the next morning. I say pretty much because it depends on the thickness of your paint application, but when I'm painting, my studio is fairly warm, and usually by the next morning it's certainly dry enough for me to start doing another layer if I need to. So now that initial blocking in is done, you can see I've got, you know, pretty much a shape and form there. I can come into that lighter mix. As I said, I'm just adding a small amount of white, and what you can actually do with subjects like this, and I've actually done it by the side, is just make up 3 or 4 different piles of the paint by adding white to each one. So you're not messing up and dirtying just one pile, you've actually got different values there. And it really is just a simple case then of searching out where the slightly lighter tones are. You see I'm still using quite a large flat brush, not going to the lightest tone straight away. I'm gradually building up on it, wet into wet. Now even when you're doing wet on wet, you can still get a small brush, load it up with paint and apply it on top. If it's not applying easily, just put a small amount of paint thinners, not too much, you don't want it being runny, but just a small amount that'll help that paint stick onto the top surface. And I'm just putting in just a few little suggestions of fur here and there, and punching up the contrast on those highlights, because I'm not sure myself how much detail I'm going to put in on this first layer, and then how much I'll actually want in a second layer. So I'm trying things out myself as well. It could well be that one layer, if I keep going with the detail, will actually be enough. Now the eye is very, very subdued. Just a little bit of brown really for the eye itself. You can barely see it, but obviously it just needs to be in that correct position with the correct tones as well. So now I've done pretty much the blocking in of the whole head. It's all still wet, everything is still wet, it's all the same painting session. I can lighten up my mix a bit and then start putting in the shape of the direction of the fur. So everything's automatically staying nice and soft because everything's blending slightly. And I'm pretty much using the same brush for 90% of this painting as well. If you're looking for even more great art sources, I've really got you covered. First off, I've got a Patreon channel that's been going well over a year or so, packed with around about 50 or more videos and new ones every month. Lots of the videos are many hours long, so you can see they're really, really in-depth. Subjects such as turtles, birds, elephants, big cats, you name it, is on there. So that's my Patreon channel. And also on that Patreon channel, before I go on to something else, I've got a secret Facebook group. So only the members are actually on there. It's the most supportive and friendly Facebook group that I've ever seen. I know I'm biased, but it really is. We've got 400 or 500 members on there, and they all help each other. So that's a great added bonus. That comes free with it. Also, you get line art every month as well. And we've just designed a brand new companion website for it. So if you've joined other patrons and channels and you found it very, very difficult to navigate around, we got this free website that comes with it. All the videos are now just a single click away. It couldn't be any easier than it is. I've also got my site, jasonmorgan.co.uk, lots of tutorial videos, DVD discs and downloads on there. And if you're struggling for reference photos for your art projects, I've got some of those too. I've got 900 plus on my website, wildlifeart-online.com, and they will be copyright free for you, so you can paint and draw from them and sell your work with no copyright worries whatsoever. So hope you like those extra resources, and I'll see you all again real soon.